Hello, everyone. You will have to listen to see if I sound enough. Hopefully, I have solved the sound issues from last week, and the game will be good, and my sound will be good, and everything will be glorious. Apologies immediately. There was a phone call for the husband. So I may be muting for a second while I level up Lae'zel here.
Assume nothing.
Okay, so Lae'zel is leveled up.
Looking ahead.
So I guess I can just continue from where I left off last time. Oh yeah, the dude told us that he's waiting for us. Let's see if I can lockpick this door. Yeah. Wee. Now let's go and get trapped. Wow, Gale, really? Thank you for that glorious comment. Okay, we don't have a short rest and everyone is hurt, which is great.
I'm ready.
Salutations.
Turns breeds madness. I'm ready. Whatever it takes. Is that blood?
Okay.
Never mind.
Let me see if I can maybe blow them up.
Does this count?
No! I wanted to be out of combat there. Anyway, can still stab him. Ouch. Okay. Well, that is not great. Maybe I should have gone to camp first, and I will maybe reload to do that. Because I don't want to spend a lot of time on fights here.
To strike.
There we go. Gale is not looking very good. Poor dude. Everyone is so unfriendly. Oh no, poor Gale. Whatever we shall do without our pocket wizard.
Let's finish this.
Okay, so everyone is looking not good. But yes, not great. I may need to reload this because I really just want to get through the fights, but I forgot that I did not rest before this. But maybe I shall prevail. Let's see. Let's whack this person. I still have... I'm not very cautious about using these potions because there's actually quite a lot of potions to be found. Oh no, poor Gale. Gale, please don't do that. Yes, okay. Gale has murderized everyone with his stink. Okay, let's just reload that and let's go rest. Maybe I can also talk to my companions and see what they have to say. In the previous stream, I was trying to talk a bit about, well, the literary devices of like the story in the beginning and the establishing of the story, but part of that is getting to know these companions as much as I can, even though they are not very friendly in the beginning. Also, I have a bunch of stuff here because I have that version of the game where I get a little bit of stuff for free. I don't even remember anymore if this was a DLC or like... I think it was some sort of extra thing you can buy, but it was quite long ago. I never make these potions of mind reading. Maybe I should use it a bit more so I can peer into the minds of some of the characters that we meet. So let me craft some. And I like to keep these with Gale now. And I will use the shape-shifting as well to see if I can have some cool interactions. And I need to just click on leveling up Lae'zel quickly. Okay, and reorganize my bag a little bit. There is a bunch of stuff here that I will want to sell. Okay, so I'm gonna pick up some stuff that is always in this camp. And I'm not really sure how often it restocks these potion ingredients. Another grease bottle that I never really use. Okay, so let's see what Shadowheart has to say for us before sleep.
Lae'zel has a dangerous look in her eyes. Let's just hope she reserves those impulses for any common foes.
Let's see. She's still on about Lae'zel. So Shadowheart's character in the beginning is quite stuck on, well, on her racism and her secretiveness. So let's see. Does she say anything if I ask her?
We've been through quite a lot, with likely more to come. Care to narrow it down a little?
Okay, let's see. What does she think about
Must I?
the worms?
Thinking about it won't help. We know what to do, so let's do it. Find a way to rid ourselves of these things. Personally, I think finding this Halcyon is our best bet. I'm not too hopeful that a Gith crash will actually prove our salvation, but worth keeping in mind. I suppose we'd go our separate ways. Not a slight on your company, of course. Perhaps. Perhaps not. If we do survive, we'll have separate lives to return to. I need to get to Baldur's Gate. There's someone waiting for me there. Someone I have to reach. As soon as possible.
Okay, I won't
Thank
pry
you.
about it. I've been nice
And
to
you're
Shard.
right. It's a delicate matter. Not something for light conversation.
Okay. Okay, I'm gonna ask her about the artifact.
There's no story.
She's not gonna be happy, but
None that you're entitled to hear, anyway. Just forget you ever saw it.
okay. Okay. I shall leave you alone. Let's go and see. Because I think if we go to rest and for the evening, then Astarion won't speak to us anymore. He will just be sulking in the
I'm
corner.
enjoying the latest addition to our little group. Lae'zel is delightful. In a very look at me twice and I'll dismember you kind of way, of course. Oh, what's to tell? I'm a magistrate back in the city. It's all rather tedious.
Okay. And Lae'zel, hello.
Be wary of false promises. The missing druid, Halcyon, was it? He may be talented, but only a Githyanki Zathis can cleanse an embedded tadpole.
Let's
I
see.
understand much beyond your comprehension. More to the point, I know the cure for our condition. It is imperative we locate a creche. You do well to observe more and question less.
This is so religious, I could say. There's no questions, only belief, and again we return to this thing that I talked about in the previous stream, that people were talking about Lae'zel and how she is very afraid, and yet she's showing her kindness towards us because she tells us about the crash and she tells us about the cure that she believes in. But the way she's saying it, the way she is devoted to Githyanki protocol and all of this is, I think, kind of a very clear representation of just believing in a very strict religious dogmatic ideas, but also it's also tied together with the military principles that Lae'zel brings in her character. So it's a very interesting mixture of the two, I think. I'm gonna question her about the crash.
Entirely. I was as devoted to my studies as I was to my training. Each creche contains a Zathis purification device. So I learned from the writings in the Kalir Library. The library was a gift from Vlaakith herself, that we may gain total understanding. Countless scholars roam the astral sea and beyond, observing the ways of our lessers, exploring planes so distant, order turns to chaos, and cold fires rage. The planes are ever quaking, and their peoples ever shifting. The Githyanki possess an eternity of knowledge. Yet we still collect more. Infinities upon infinities. Yes, in great detail. It starts with a fever and memory loss. Then you start to hallucinate. Your hair falls out, and you bleed from every orifice. Your
Oof,
bones
sounds
will change
delightful.
form. Your jaw will split to allow room for 4 great tentacles. All skin will turn to gore and be shed to reveal new flesh underneath. Then you have ceased to exist, and a mind flayer is born. That shiver betrays your fear. Suppress it. It is useless. We must find my kind and be rid of the parasite. It's as simple as that. The first symptoms should have long since started, though. That is what puzzles me. Yes, if you give it no further thought. But anomalies lead to surprises. Bad surprises. Besides, what hasn't happened may yet come to pass.
Okay, let's comment about her
I
jankiness.
expect I am your first.
Let's say, I would say that we know of Githyanki.
Of course you haven't. They would have cut you from navel to neck. You are no less alien to me than I am to you. I know of your kind, but I do not often encounter them. That large, fleshy nose of yours looks like a mistake. Decadent, then. Lacking in economy. Like so much of this world and its undisciplined people.
It's kind of interesting that the unknown is obviously a great part of this story, both because of the mind flayers and our tadpole, and later as it unfolds there will be so much more greater unknowns. Yet at the same time there are smaller, or not really smaller unknowns, but unknowns more closer to the player, to us, because Lae'zel is an alien basically for us, because we are from this world but she's from another world. But instead of using that kind of unknown in the gothic way of making it something to be feared, it's more of an interesting, quirky thing, and I feel like the player is encouraged to want to find out about different races and different cultures. And Lae'zel represents absolutely this like alien culture and alien race within our party. But again, it's not really put in our faces, because unless you really talk with Lae'zel, you don't really find out much. So here again we see this choose your own adventure-ness of the game, that you are not presented with every story. You have the choice to encounter parts of the story, and you may never encounter it depending on what or who you interact with.
A Githyanki joining our company. Not a collaboration I'd have anticipated, but a welcome one nonetheless. Let's see. I hail from Waterdeep, city of splendors. I am a wizard of considerable acclaim and scholar of exceptional accomplishment. I have a cat, a library, and a weakness for a good glass of wine. And if the mood takes me, I'm known to try my hand at poetry. There.
There. Like, this is so interesting that he tells you something that he wants to share, and then he puts this there at the end. Like, sort of discouraging you to ask more in a way, but I will ask more.
Didn't that paint enough of a picture?
Okay, let's try. I am not very wise with this character, but let's try. Oh, well, that didn't work. Oh, he's gonna get angry at me. Oops.
Try as you might to breach his inner thoughts, Gale swats your efforts away with infuriating ease.
I have a very disciplined mind. Those tricks won't work on me. Please don't try that again unless I invite you to.
Okay, I want. Let's go to sleep then. And oh, we get a scene with Gale, which is very nice.
Be with you in a moment. Indulging in a spot of vanity. Handsome devil, aren't I? Be that as it may. Ceramorphosis. What does it make you think of? Spot on. Day 1, fever and memory loss. Day 2, hallucinations and graying skin. Day 3, hair loss and blood leaking from all orifices. Need to go on? My point is this. Our orifices remain blissfully unblooded, our heads remain clear, and our blood temperature normal. Any expert will agree this is abnormal. That, alas, is where my knowledge fails me. A rogue might call it luck, a priest might call it fate. As for myself, I'm a pragmatic. I see the silence before the storm. Something to sleep on. We should get some rest.
Okay, I'm just gonna check in case anyone else says something
What's
now
up
that
for
it is
discussion?
evening.
Abominations grow inside us. Our bones should ache. Our mouths should bleed. Yet we thrive. It is madness. Keep your rest short. Time is not our ally.
Yes, that's absolutely how a magistrate would behave, right? Just throwing sword.
I saw you
Anyway.
getting a lecture from our magical friend. I have to say, I thought you'd look worse, but no. Not a tentacle to be seen. Naturally, but I was thinking, what if it doesn't? Of course, first sign of change, and I'll have to stop that pretty little heart of yours. I am open to suggestions. Knives, poison, strangulation, whatever you'd prefer.
Let's say that I would prefer not to die.
Well, now you're just being close-minded. There are some lovely ways to go. I've watched urchins freeze to death in the street. It looks peaceful, just like falling asleep. A classic. One good thrust to the heart and you're gone. We need a good blade, of course. Don't want to waste time hacking and prodding with a dinner knife.
Great, lovely description.
Well, I'm getting ahead of myself. This is all a worst-case scenario, obviously.
Obviously.
If the last day has taught me anything, it's that the impossible is more likely than you think. Now, let's get some rest. The sooner we start tomorrow, the better our chances of keeping this hypothetical.
He also very well represents the Gothic idea that appears in many Gothic literature, is the idea of not being so afraid of death anymore. There was this sort of resurgence of talking about death in literature, but in a different way than it was discussed before. Previously, before Gothic literature, there was a lot of talk about death in a more religious way, in a more like holy way, and the romantic idea of dying, and the idea of talking about deceased loved ones, especially in poetry that talks about their life and their great deeds, or something that they have done to make other people's lives better, and having this sort of eternal remembrance put into a piece of literature. But then when Gothic writing happened, the idea of death and thinking about death became much more realistic, in a way that there was more different expressions about death and the characterization of death. Of, for example, vampires, like as we know, Astarion is a vampire, or ghosts. And in these times, people actually still used to go to cemeteries and have like proper picnics there, and go out there at night and have a sort of family gathering at a family member's grave. And cemeteries were not like they are today. They were not this silent, mournful place. It was more of a place of gathering, of community. So it's really interesting that, again, we have each character that we can take as a companion sort of represents some sort of idea, and usually it is, as I find it, is a Gothic idea, but I think that comes from the whole story of Baldur's Gate 3 being a very, very much a Gothic story. After the previous stream, I was a bit stumped, because I was thinking how else can I highlight the Gothic elements in this story. Because yes, the beginning set us up quite nicely to recognize that we are dealing with, well, let's call it Gothic literature. But now that we will get to speak to our companions more, we will see these ideas, Gothic ideas represented in them, and characters that are happen in most, classic Gothic literature. But other than that, in general, I have gathered some of the main Gothic literary devices that we can connect with this story. The first one being mystery and fear, so the unknown, as I talked about with Lae'zel and her representation of the unknown, and also us, the player, and everyone turning into mind flayers or monsters and having this tadpole. And the tadpole itself would belong to the category of the omens and curses. This is where vampires also tie in, because vampirism was looked at as a curse in Gothic literature. It is something that happens to someone and doesn't allow them to pass to next life, but not in a way that, for example, a ghost would happen to exist, because it is a spirit. It is the spirit of someone who had unfinished business in this world or in this life. Vampires usually were characters who didn't do much good in their life, or like had this sort of gray line dancing in life. So it was more of an atonement kind of thing, that they had to become vampires and then keep on living, but being an outcast from society. There's also obviously the atmosphere and the setting. Baldur's Gate 3 very much has the vibe of Gothic literature. There is a supernatural and a paranormal. There's also romance, which often happens in Gothic literature. One really good Gothic literature book that I really love that has both curse and supernatural and the atmosphere and the romance and vampires is Carmilla by Sheridan Le Fanu. Oh, it is a great book, and I recommend it for everyone who wants to read a classic vampire gothic romance story. But other than romance, there is also emotional distress. And there are villains and anti-heroes. And I was thinking a little bit about this, that in Baldur's Gate 3, the anti-hero can actually be the player as well. Not even necessarily if you play as an evil player or if you choose those kind of dialogue options that turn you into an evil person or someone really corrupted. But just in general, we are not, as the player and as the player character, we are not immediately set up as the hero, because we are not on this journey on our own. It is especially because of the companions that we are not the sole hero of the story. So I believe that they kind of try to blend the existence of heroes, villains, and anti-heroes in this game to make it more malleable, so you can change the story to your liking in a way that you can at the same time be the hero and the anti-hero. Because in certain situations you can make certain decisions that make sense there, and then in other situations you can make different decisions that would be, that would put you in more of an anti-hero category. This cannot really happen in a book or a novel. It would be very sort of flopping about in the story if a character was constantly changing depending on the situation between being the hero or the anti-hero or the outright villain. Another thing that ties to this, though, is in terms of villains. Another literary device in Gothic literature is nightmares. Very often characters in Gothic literature have nightmares or dreams about their curse or about the villain of the story, or about the situation that they find themselves in. And obviously in Baldur's Gate 3 we haven't seen it yet because we are not there yet, but we have the dream figure, our guardian. There are differing opinions about the dream figure, if the dream figure is helping us or if the dream figure is lying to us and manipulating us. That entirely, I think, depends on how you interpret it and how you play the game. And with villains, in Gothic literature also comes the last literary device that I have gathered on my list is the damsel in distress. And I think that because we are not the sole hero or anti-hero or villain of the story, there's also no one singular damsel in distress here. I think in this story, the damsel in distress is the collective distress of everyone who is at the moment trying to find a solution to the tadpole. Later, it will be the collective distress of the harpers who are trying to, do something about the cursed Shadowlands. So there is much more of a collective distress going on here. First, obviously, we have our party and our tadpoles that we are all distressed about. And then I would say that the next major distress that we meet is in the Grove, the distress of both the druids and the tieflings, obviously for different reasons and with different validity, you could say. Okay, so I will try to see what Shadowheart has to say, and then we will go to sleep and then
I couldn't
continue.
help but overhear. Well, all right, I could have helped, but didn't. Anyway, I feel the same. Other than the occasional mental exchange, it's almost as if we're not infected. The voice on the ship told me I'd become a beautiful weapon. What do you think it meant? Agreed. We can't take the lack of symptoms for granted. All right. I've kept you from your blanket long enough. Rest well.
Okay. So let's go do a long rest and see what happens. I'm just gonna auto-select. And again, we are put into that situation of having the first person view of the main character, which is us, and having the omniscient view of, obviously you're not supposed to know that this happens. Like if it was in a book, where would we see this? This is so interesting to me that in a video game you can manage to do this, because if you imagine this in a book, it would be very much flopping about. We would need to have the paragraph where the main character is described going to sleep, and then within the same chapter we would have a paragraph where we get the omniscient view. Usually it doesn't happen like this either. There's sometimes some novels that have the first person and the omniscient view change between chapters, but this would be so weird with such a, like, happening at the same time, you know. This is so interesting that we are able to do this in a video game. That's why I love how it gives so much opportunity for different ways of storytelling. Okay, so let's try this again. Can I lockpick this? Probably I can. There we go. Okay, I'm going to go hiding immediately, and I know that we're gonna go in the trap. But sadly, I don't know, I never tried these if I cannot go into the trap, so let's just heal up everyone and then I can do the fight. And I'm going to do a save here again, because I already healed. Let's go in with Gale, so I can light everything on fire.
Keep looking. Checkmate. Something's up.
What to do? Hope your soul is in good hands.
Cloak and dagger. My favorite.
Stern shadow. I am death.
Well, that's not going really great again, but it's really weird because when I play this game on different difficulties, I'm doing so much better, and then I play on balanced, and here I am. Although probably I will be able to solve this. I don't know. I can pick myself up, I guess.
No choice but to keep going.
There we go. Poor Gale.
We've saved me. I cannot take much more.
Okay, that worked. And then there is only... Ah, there are two of them. Not a problem. And I think that was all of them, because they are in there as well sometimes, but I think they were all out here because the dude knew that we are coming.
Any attention right now.
My path be true.
Oh, I don't think I can see her, no. Let's just try to get everyone
Got to
in
press
here.
on.
There we go. Come on, Gale, you can do it. Well, it was something. Ooh, that was very good.
So much for peace.
Usually I don't get so good rolls on the blade singing. There we go. Coolio.
That helped.
I'm gonna use a lot of short resting because I want to go and do a lot of long rests so we can talk to our companions in camp as much as possible. Let's see if they have anything useful.
On my way.
There are also a lot of books
Let's
in
see.
here. But honestly, if I would stop at every book to read it, I don't think I would ever finish playing, so I am not going to focus on the books in the game. There are way too many. Some of them are interesting, and if they have something to do with our quest, or if we can get more information from it, then I will stop to read and have a look
Who are
at
those
it.
prayers for?
There is, for example, a book in here.
Not here.
Yeah, for example, this is about Shar. But other than knowing what we can already know about Shar, we don't learn anything from it. However, there's a book about... Oh, I think it may be this one, actually. Yes, The Curse of the Vampire. Yeah, so it just writes about a little bit about vampires. There are a lot of these in-world references to our companions, characteristics or beliefs or anything regarding them. You can find them, and it's really interesting that they place these here for us to read, and then maybe for us to, like, you know, try to put together the story more, or this is how you could learn more about your companions. It's a shame that a lot of stuff, as I discussed in the previous stream, a lot of stuff is so obvious. Like Shar's symbol being straight up on Shadowheart's chest, and Astarion very clearly being a vampire. I think it would feel so much better if these little clues were put about, and there would be way less visible references about who these characters actually are. Yeah, so I don't care about the books in here. Let's go into the catacombs or whatever they are.
How does it open?
I think... Oh no, I should touch the little school in the wall. I just forgot because I usually come in from the other side. Can we... It will just say that we can't read this, right?
You do not recognize
Yes.
the language on the plaque.
It's very interesting. I may need to like have a little look online about this, because it doesn't say that it's faded and you can't read it. You don't recognize the language. Like, what language is it written in that we don't recognize here?
This place wasn't built for the living. What's hiding here? Be wary. This place is trapped.
Okay. Let's see if I can disarm this. Oh, good. Even if I couldn't, you can just... Pro tip. Pro tip, you can just press the button. And then it will turn off the trap here. Now everyone will comment about all the traps here, which is just so lovely and not annoying at all.
Stay vigilant. There are traps here.
Okay. And I think I am going to give this to Shadowheart. I send all paintings to camp because later I will sell them, but I usually keep them until Act 3. Also, I forgot to pick up the backpack from camp. Usually I have another backpack so I can put stuff in it that doesn't need to be out in my inventory all the time. But anyhow, let's move on and let's meet Daddy Withers. But first I'm gonna rob all of these poor skeletons of their weapons.
Scribes. No sign of a struggle.
I wonder what was so subversive about their words that they commanded protection.
And I am not going to bother with opening the chest here because usually there is absolutely nothing in it. And I just waste time and the lockpicks.
That's Jurgle, scribe of the dead. Didn't think anyone still worshipped him.
Okay, so I noticed that this is Jurgle. There is a plaque here, I remembered
The
correctly.
inscription is in a language.
Again, this is so
unknown to
interesting.
you.
I will look this up probably. Like, what is this language that we cannot read here?
Now that's a lock that screams pick me.
I don't think I'm gonna need that, but this one sometimes has
Right tool will do the trick.
good loot, so let me try to get this. Okay. Yeah, and here we go. Absolutely useless stuff. Now let's see this one though.
This book is far lighter than it should be with such a massive lock.
I'm gonna smash it. I'm even gonna put in a elixir. Yay! So unceremonious.
As the lock opens, a loose page comes with it. Magic pulses from the parchment. What was once script is now an obliterated scrawl. You have a sense these are names, a list. But of what?
Oops. I think I can somehow re-roll it. Oh, I can just use inspiration. Please roll. Yay.
Gods. These are the names of gods, once lost but now restored after the Second Sundering. The last 3 names in this book sit close together, but are so devastated by the scrawl as to be unreadable. Entire pantheons have dwindled and been reborn, silently recorded by this book.
Okay. And then I'm going to pick it up. I don't know what to do with it. Usually I sell it, but I don't know if it actually has any good uses. So I might keep it and see if maybe readers comments on it, or I'm not sure. We also have some level ups here, so let's do that. Okay, apologies. I was just drinking and stuff. So, oh, I'm so used to having Astarion here. This is so weird. I guess I'm going to
I applaud your taste.
Onward then.
Blacketh's will be done.
put everyone
No
in
one's
some
stopped me
sort of position. And I'm gonna go press this button and see what happens.
That might be why to look.
And there we go, we have a fight. Again, this is such a gothic fear of reanimated dead zombies and skeletons and all of these. Very much a gothic idea.
Ready. I will ascend.
There we go. Nice stuff. Little stab. So, let's see. Stabby stab. Yay.
Step forward.
I'm ready.
I may be a bit too happy about stabbing things.
Have to keep going.
There we go.
Time to strike.
Fancy no chances.
Nice.
Only their valuables.
Okay.
Even
So
after
everybody come here. Oh, and we get another level up of the rest of the party. I would really love to try the swashbuckler, as it is the new subclass, and I only tried it once and didn't even take it all the way to the end of the game. So maybe I will go for it now. I will have some opportunity attacks and... Oh no, actually, they can't make against me. Okay. Yeah, let's do this. Why not? Doesn't really matter, to be honest, but it might be fun. Now for Lae'zel, I really like Champion, but also the Arcane Archer is super cool. So I think I'm gonna go with this. I know everyone hates on True Strike, but I think it's good. I mean, the advantage is nice. And for these, I usually choose the Grasping one and the Seeking one first, and there is the Bursting one. And then I'm just gonna check if this is, yeah, at the moment this is the best arrow. Also, I think best bow, yes. Shadowheart can also shoot stuff. One thing that I want to do is the prepared spells of Shadowheart. Although the spiritual weapon is not bad, but I think I'm gonna change that to a hold person. It's gonna be more useful, and yeah, for now let's prepare these. Although this is, for me, this is a huge mess, and I will not find things I want to find. So I'm gonna quickly just organize like I usually would do here.
Action, not reaction.
At the ready.
At least things have stayed interesting.
Okay, so let's go and see what lies behind this button.
A lot of effort to hide one sarcophagus.
Here lies the guardian of tombs. Through knowledge comes atonement.
So he has spoken, and so thou standest before me. Right, as always. What a curious way to awaken. Now, I have a question for thee. What is the worth of a single mortal's life?
What an interesting question. That is a really good question here. Who is the he?
an arbiter of certain matters. But that is not important now. Wilt thou answer my question? So, I ask again, what is the worth of a single mortal life?
This is a very role-play question, a role-play moment. Let's see. I don't think that my character would say that we're all equal. I guess let's say that it depends on the mortal. That sounds pragmatic enough.
I am curious by what standards thou shalt judge. Very well. I am satisfied. We have met, and I know thy face. We will see each other again at the proper time and place. Farewell.
Farewell, Wither. See you at camp. Haha, and now one of the best things for storytelling. We can now speak to the dead. Okay, so I'm going to go through the back entrance or exit, and then let's go back to camp so we can speak to Withers a bit more. So can I make any new potions? No. But I think I will go back to the grove and do some selling of some goodies.
I'll be keeping an eye on you. Understand?
If I choose to kill you, you will not even see it.
These little interactions between companions can be very, very fun.
What's in here?
Did I already? Yes, I took all the food from here. Good. Also, let's see what this plaque says.
This grove is kept by Sylvanus' faithful.
Okay.
Need anything else?
Another religion.
Of course. But please, remember, you're not the only one in need.
Just gonna take the money here and let that be.
Enough
Although,
waiting. I crave blood.
Refugees, adventurers, no one in years, and suddenly we're overwhelmed. Well met. And thank you for beating back those goblins. Most brave of you. Is there anything you need? Act fast if you do. The ritual will be complete before too long.
okay.
Just some bits and bobs I no longer need.
I want to see if this. Yes, I will take the spell thief for her. Oops.
Silva.
There we go. Now that's much better.
Still breathing,
So,
despite everything.
let's go camp. Hello, Withers.
We meet again, as predicted. I shall be here in thy camp for whenever thou hast need of my services.
What are you, withers?
There are many answers to that question. None are important. Correct. No. Beyond mortal realms, there doth exist an amalgamation of spirits akin to thine own, ensnared by the treacherous cult of the Absolute, felled in its name. They bear great discontentment with their destiny. For a mere pittance of coin, I might summon the worthiest among them to lend aid to thy undertaking.
Okay. And I guess we can say that this is why he asked, what's the worth of a single mortal's life? He wanted to know. He wanted to know if, kinda, I guess, if we would be okay with just kinda summoning some dead back for our aid.
Suspicion always haunts the guilty mind. My services are all that I can proffer thee. What thou wilt do with them is for thee to undertake. Most willingly, forsooth. Their passions doth run deep for what hath been wrought upon them. Should thou or any of thy compatriots perish, I will cleave soul to body once more. Indeed. Farewell.
Farewell. So now we know that he is somewhat of a magical dude.
How can I help?
Let's see. Anyone can say anything? I don't think so. Maybe if I turn it to evening. Let's do another rest.
These boots have seen everything.
Speak.
Anything? No. Okay, so I guess I'm just gonna do another long rest.
You don't sleep well, flitting between dreams and nightmares. Maybe you wake up because you know something is wrong. Or maybe you just get lucky.
Shit.
Well, oopsie.
No, it's not what it looks like. I swear. I wasn't going to hurt you. I just needed, well, blood.
There, in the dim firelight, you see him for what he really is. A vampire, a slave to sanguine hunger.
I've never killed anyone. Well, not for food. I feed on animals. Boars. Deer. Kobolds. Whatever I can get. But it's not enough. Not if I have to fight. I feel so weak. If I just had a little blood, I could think clearer. Fight better. Please.
A strange sensation courses through you, and your companion's mind unfolds, secrets half revealed.
Okay, why didn't you tell me? I think I'm gonna
At
choose
best, I
that.
was sure you'd say no. More likely, you'd ram a stake through my ribs. No. I needed you to trust me. And you can trust me. Thank you. Do you think you could trust me just a little further? I only need a taste. I swear. Really? Of course. Not one drop more. Let's make ourselves comfortable. shall we?
It's like a shard of ice into your neck. A quick, sharp pain that fades to throbbing numbness. Your breath catches, your pulse quickens.
Okay, I think I'm gonna try persuasion.
Oh, of course. That was amazing. My mind is finally clear. I feel strong. I feel happy. Shouldn't take long. So many people need killing. Now, if you'll excuse me, you're invigorating, but I need something more filling. This is a gift, you know. I won't forget it.
You watch as he stalks towards the forest, stronger, more confident, ready to hunt.
So, there goes our vampire. Okay, and then we can see the reactions of everyone else.
Good morning. How do you feel? It'll pass. Just be glad I'm not a true vampire. A bite from them and you might wake up as a vampire spawn. Like my good self. All of a vampire's hunger, but few of their powers. Oh no. I should be cinders in this light. I hadn't seen the sun for 200 years before we crashed here. Someone, or something, wants me alive. They've changed the rules. Standing in the sun, wading through a river, wandering into homes without an invitation. They're all perfectly mundane activities now. As for my other quirks, well, we can figure those out in time. That's my theory, but who knows? I'm just glad you're being sensible about these revelations. I was worried people might turn up with torches and pitchforks. Although there's still time.
A vampire? Well, that explains the pallor. Given our group's nature, I don't see much harm. We're each monsters in the making, after all.
Oh, and a quick word of warning, Astarion. I taste absolutely awful. Keep your distance.
Quite the opposite. I'm here in the spirit of openness and honesty to work together as a team.
You say all the right words, but I'm not so sure you mean the right things. Still, I will respect the decision that was made.
There now. We're all friends again. Shall we go? There's a long day ahead of us.
Okay, so now we know that he's a vampire and everyone had their little opinions about it. Well, we shall see. And here is the backpack that I wanted to take with me. Because I use this to put away all the stuff that I don't necessarily need to see all the time. This I will send to Lae'zel. This one can go to camp. And then I continue. I will probably go back to the grove and then we will see about this ritual business that the druids are up to.
Hells! We can't just leave. They're kin!
I'll not gamble our lives, our futures, on people who are as good as dead. We must leave for Baldur's Gate at once.
Can we all just take a moment, please?
What's the point in blazing spells if we don't bloody use them? We should stay. These people aren't fighters. We can help.
Or yell louder. That's fine too. Roland's right, sis. We should leave while we still can.
Or would you deny your brother here his chance at fortune in Baldur's Gate?
Fine. Let's sneak away like God's damned cowards. But if something happens to these people, it's on us. I hope you know that.
One with the weave.
There we go.
No
And
one
they
back
will be
home will ever
going.
believe this. It's curious.
Should I?
Swear that ox is
Ah,
gay.
there we go. Yes. Okay, I will speak with the ox.
Ah, you're addressing me, a humble ox. How quaint. A druid or two, I suppose. But the novelty remains fresh. I suppose I did. Yes. I had quite a life in El Toro. Chewing cud, pulling carts, etc.
Let's see if I can sense something about him.
Something's off. This creature isn't what it appears to be.
Okay.
I'm glad you think so. Otherwise,
Alright then,
things might
Gandalf the
have
Ox,
been
keep your
very
secrets.
messy. Tick-tock.
He stares right past you, as if you're invisible. Or boring. You see nothing out of the ordinary. As you turn back, the child slips between the rocks. You find the edges of a concealed entrance.
Okay, so we know that he went down there, but first I want to speak to Will.
Go on. Give me a best shot. Not bad. Again.
I can't do it. I'm not like you.
Umi, I don't need you to be like me. You just have to buy enough time to run. Come on. I believe in you. You can do this. You're on the right path, Umi. Go on now. Practice what you've learned. Well met. The Blade of Frontiers at your...
The man's smile bends downward, and his thoughts become yours. You are the Blade of Frontiers, racing through the wastes of Avernus. Just ahead, a diabolical figure, red skin, single curled horn, blazes with flame, bloodied great axe held high.
Hell's great fires. You were on the ship. Doomed to shed our skin and become a lithid, or so the stories go. But we haven't sprouted any tentacles. Not yet, anyway. Could just be good luck. I'm not so...
Your minds collide once more. Will chases the fiend ignited with rancor. She is an infernal war devil. A threat to the living. Evil incarnate.
Shit! You saw her. Advocatus Diaboli.
Advocatus Diaboli. A devil's advocate. A champion in the blood war between diabolical forces and demons.
Her name is Karlach. An archdevil soldier I swore on my good eye to kill.
I tracked her through the hells to the Mind Flayer ship, but the damned Illithids infected me before I could end her.
She's out there now, preying on the innocent. I don't kill her, she'll leave behind nothing but a trail of corpses. Just so you know, my first duty is Karlak. I'm oath-bound to go after her. But I won't deny this infection is bothersome. I accept your invitation.
I'd love to join, but I don't think there's enough space for me to squeeze in.
Okay. Then
A
he
splendid
will
plan.
go to camp.
We'll talk more there.
Will go to camp. Haha.
I saw you at the gates. You fight well. A few words for the kids? Spare a story or two. Thanks. I prefer when they smile.
This is also an interesting, also Gothic idea of children fighting, especially in Europe. At the time of Gothic literature, there were lots of wars and in general not great conditions that common folk were living in. So the idea of sending kids to war and to fight was actually looked on with much interest, because people were like, oh well, at least if I send my child to the military, then they will be fed and they will have somewhere to stay and they will learn to fight and to keep themselves alive until they actually have to fight, because then it became sort of an issue that a lot of the battles began with these, well, let's say the weaker soldiers dying because they were literal children. However, if you were common folk, there wasn't much option other than working in some sort of factory or begging on the street. Some of them were running newspapers or working in homes of nobles or lords and ladies as cleaners or maintenance or doing some sort of job, or they could go to the military. Some children, especially girls, went to convents and later became nuns or in some way worked for the church. Also out of faith and belief, but also out of necessity. But there were also just a lot of children on the street. I think we can also speak to. Yes.
Harry, strike! Damn it! It's just not landing. Nothing but goblins in the wild, out for blood, and the druids in here looking to kick us out. Or worse. We need to be ready for a fight, but I'm useless with a sword. Let's see then. Feint, kick, thrust! You really know what you're doing. Found this by the road. Bet you'll put it to good use. Oh, yes. I'll bite my tongue when the time comes. Hopefully, it's just the goblins we have to worry about. The druids are treating us like vermin. But I'll keep at it. Thank you.
There we go. And then there is another important person we can speak to here.
By Mordai's eyes, another one. My friend's blood not enough. Come to rip me open too.
In Kresh Kalir, a formal greeting begins with a bow.
Is this monster with you?
Okay, so we are not going to do this.
You dare interrupt? Has the tadpole ravaged your senses? Kichoki, fine.
Thanks. What do you want from me? On the road to Baldur's Gate, near the mountain pass. Saw us, for we saw it. Jammed its blade through Yul's belly. Straight to the other side. And I just ran.
The map. Show me.
No hard feelings.
Poor dude.
The last time a subordinate questioned my judgment, I ate tongue stew that very night.
I warned you, didn't I? You ought to reconsider keeping her around before she causes real trouble.
Kinyak, your tantrum proves you no wiser than a hatchling. The tiefling was clear. If there are Githyanki west of here, that must be our objective. Purification cannot wait. The creche holds the Zaithisk. It will cleanse us of the parasite. By covenant, I can say no more.
Here we go. I'm not going to question her about her accent. That would be a bit rude.
Open up.
Let's see. There is usually some foodies in here.
Ready.
And I think I am going to speak with speak with Zevlor once again. Speak with the lady who is also there. And also, yes, let's go and not murder Saza.
You ain't gonna shoot me. Your hands are shaking.
Put it down. She can't fight back.
That's the point. Get out of the way!
She didn't kill your brother, Arka. You're better than this.
Shoot before you lose your nerve, Tiefling. If you ever had it to begin with. Looks like the Absolute sent me a protector. You gonna kill her too?
You! Move!
Let's see. Good stuff.
You're right. I wish you weren't. I really do. Damn you. Damn it! Why do you care if a goblin lives or dies? If you believe anything the beast tells you, you're an idiot.
It's all right, Arka. Let's go.
Ain't sure why you're protecting me. Don't care, neither. It's too late to make friends, warg meat. My tribe's coming. They're gonna burn this pretty place for the glory of the Absolute and hang you by your guts. Goddess. We're burning her name across the face of the world, we are. The Absolute is gold from the sky, she is. The blessing in the storm and the storm itself. My tribe can tell you everything there is to know. Absolute bless one of our own. Priestess Gut. Got a whole lab set up. Cooks up potions that fix our lads, no matter how much of a beating they take. Could probably stick your head back on if someone was to chop it off. Mighty booyog.
A goblin healer. We really are desperate, aren't we?
Get me out of here, and I'll tell you where to find her. Deal? Even if you did find my tribe, they'd set the wargs on you. You need me. Get me out of here, And I'll tell them what a good friend you are.
Okay,
Suit
I'm
yourself.
not gonna get Saza
Looking
out.
forward to seeing what your innards look like.
Gil.
Believe it or not, but I witnessed a similar standoff back at the Yawning Portal. Of course, an establishment like that invites all sorts of outlandish entertainments.
Let's see.
Oh, a drow, a dragonborn, and a cleric of Cyric walk into a bar. Your standard fare. Maybe someone was cheating at cards. Maybe it was some weird lover's quarrel. In any case, out came the crossbow, and a hush fell over the entire room. I stood up and yelled, "Shadow Dark Ale for everyone!" The crowd cheered. The tension drained into 6 tankards, and soon all was well again. In a place like the Yawning Portal, the most powerful magic is calling for a round of drinks. Mind you, all I did was call for ale, but you went and stood in front of that crossbow. I'll drink to that.
Lovely anecdote. Absolutely useless, but thank you, Gil.
You! Saw you fighting those slimy bastards. Fancy a bowl? Best to fill your belly now, while we still can. Look, it ain't much, but it might make all the difference. The only way we'll make it to Baldur's Gate is to run, and run hard. If a gnoll catches your scent, you'll need every bit of strength. Trust me.
Ah, if it isn't the talk of the camp. Thank goodness you came along when you... Oh! There isn't a bit of colour in those cheeks, Petal. Are you hurt? Cold? Feverish? Auntie Ethel will sort you out. I've lotions and potions galore. Aha! You take a sup of that and you'll feel right as rain, sweetie. Oh, stop with the sweet talk. Here, take the end of the bat, just in case. I'm sorry to go on about it, but are you all right? You're looking awful peaky. Oh, I've seen it all. I once had a fella who'd been caught dabbling with a dryad. The wife was none too pleased and introduced him to a pot of boiling oil. But worry not. I fixed him up, and depending on the lighting, he looks good as new. My point is, whatever ails you, I promise I've seen worse.
She is not to know of our ailment. Only a Gith healer may make us pure.
What is it, Petal? What's wrong?
As you recount your adventure, Auntie Ethel nods along, her eyes wide.
You poor pet! My heart goes out to you, truly. I see no sign of a tentacle yet, but that could change in an instant. You need help. Serious help. I've ne'er a potion or lotion here that could do it, but... yes, I may have something at home. I've collected some interesting bits and bobs over the years. You'll have to stop by my house, just at the edge of the forest. Let me mark it on your map. I'll be heading back soon, so I can meet you there. Now, do you need anything? I have a few odds and ends for sale.
Let's see.
Hey, bother.
Let's buy some stuff from her. I can also sell some things that I have. Well, this one thing, sadly. Also, maybe I will get all the food. Potion of invisibility will be useful. More for animal speaking. will also be useful, so we can speak to all of the little critters that we meet.
Be careful on the road. I'd hate if something happened to you. Take care, Petal.
Of course she would hate it, because she wants to do some stuff with us. I don't need this, and I can sell this later. So, let's see if I can make some more potions now. I can. Just make some more healing. And then let's speak to the remainder of the people up here.
Thanks for fighting off those goblins. If you need to replace any gear, just ask. My selection's pretty slim. I had to leave most of my equipment in Elturel.
Of sorts. Used to be a bread and butter tinsmith before Elturel fell into Avernus. These days my talents are more eclectic. Learned a lot in my time in the Hells. Hope to forget most of it. But between you and me, there's nothing in all the realms like the utter power of infernal machinery. Alas, my offerings are far more humble these days.
Let's see if he has anything useful for me at the moment, but I don't think so. Usually I just get the arrows. So yeah. Arrows for Lae'zel. I think, yes, Aradin and his companions are gone because he was yacht in the face, but we can meet them later. Well, some of them. Oh, buckets.
The Githyanki people have a
Oops.
word for men like the Blade of Frontiers. Shalak. Roughly translated, idealist do-gooder. Or better yet, benevolent burden. His confidence is an asset. His pursuit of valor, not so much.
Okay, we got a bit of thoughts about Will. Let's see. Some info about taverns in Baldur's Gate. And then let's see if I can look with this. There we go. Yeah, there is nothing really useful here. Aradin will have something for us when we meet him.
And we'll have a dog, right?
They don't allow them in Baldur's Gate. Cats, though?
A little orange cat. And a house with a little door so that it can come and go as it pleases.
And a high fence to keep eavesdroppers out. Thanks. I suppose we'll all need it.
What about you? Big plans for when you get to the city?
Let's see.
I think I've heard of that place. Something about a stuffed dragon's head in one of the dining rooms. It's settled, Danis. You, me, and the Elf Song Tavern first thing when we arrive. If we see you there, we'll get you a pint. For your finder's fee.
Very cute. And then there is one more person that is here that we can speak to. I think he says something.
We've known enough grief this 10-day traveler. Don't be the cause of more.
No. Okay. Zoru is just over here now. Let's go to Zevlor. Although he told me to go speak with the druid, so I will first speak to the lady who is here. I always forget her name. Of course, steal everything.
I don't need any attention right now.
Let's be sneaky.
I want to have a word.
Used to think the goblins would kill us the second we set foot outside. But after hearing what you did at the gate, well, I still think they'll kill us. But at least we can put up a fight. There's optimism, and then there's stupid, hun. Plenty of us fell to monsters already. I don't see the rest of us lasting long out there. But if you're so sure we will, why not put a little gold on the line?
Let's do it.
Excellent. And since I ain't one to leave a debt unpaid, that means we're destined to meet in Baldur's Gate. Looking forward to it.
Great. Well, I shall see if I can save all the tieflings. We'll see about that.
Should mind my step.
Now, I will get this loot and go down to the druids, speak to everyone we can speak to, and then I think I'm going to end it today after that, because there was a lot of exposition, a lot of story that happened here. Got to learn more about our companions, and I think that is going to be just enough stuff happening in one go.
Here goes nothing.
Before I go down, I can also save the druid that is being knocked out down here. I like to do that because I think they are more friendly if I save the dude. There's also the mushrooms here.
I don't like the look of that
there is one.
I should stay clear.
Oops. That's gonna blow up on me, I think. Maybe not. I'm not going to speak to this lady. I'm gonna let her be. Okay. Who has Mage Hand? There we go.
Right. What now?
And now we go sneaky sneak.
Everything.
I don't think that statue's eyes are glowing to provide illumination. Best be careful.
They didn't even notice me.
Breathe deep and move.
Cloak and dagger.
My thing.
No fun at all.
step.
She's still too far. Can I go close enough? Yes. Nice. There we go. And then laser. Plonk. And we are done.
Never a dull moment.
And I can
Here goes nothing.
heal Findal
I
and
have
speak to
something
him.
ask.
Oh, thank you, thank you. I thought I was gonna die down here. No. I'd still be outside gathering herbs if I didn't run into the goblins. I must tell the others what happened. I stepped careful. There are traps in these tunnels. And thank you again.
You're welcome, dude.
Your desire.
I could take another mage hand, and I will go with it and fly down there. Shoop, and touch. Oh, nice. Oops.
No time to rest? Something good here, I hope.
The mud is a bit annoying. Difficult terrain problems. Oops. There we go.
Watch how you go. There's a trap.
Let's disarm this. And then I will just get the key rather than potentially wasting
Anything of use?
a lockpick.
If not over, then through.
Nice. That means that we will be probably able to do some more potions. Lotions and potions galore. I sent those to camp by accident. Oops. It's okay. Ah, I had a little coughing fit. Thing is, no one's gonna use this, so I think I'm going to sell a bunch of stuff, and then now that we saved Findal, can go back.
That should more than suffice.
Let's go and speak with the druids and see what they are up to with this ritual of theirs.
Keep me out.
Oops. Well, that didn't go well. There we go. Much better. Hello, Mattis.
Hold out your hand, lady. Let me show you something. Go on. Take this ring. It's lucky. I never learned names or anything. Just the tricks. Anyway, forget that. Take the ring. I want to show you how lucky it is. Weeping, bleeding hells! Okay, maybe you don't need extra luck. But since you're already holding the thing, call it. Heads or tails. Heads it is. See? That's the kind of luck you get from one of my lucky rings. I've got more where that came from. Real cheap, too. Interested? I don't know what you mean. The hell it is? You can't do that one with rings. It has to be with bracelets because... Oh, damn.
Oopsie. A Freudian slip.
Last chance. You want to look at my stuff or not? I knew it. Hang on. That's what I got.
I will buy his thief's tool and probably the supply pack as well.
You suddenly feel something moving against your back and turn.
There we go.
One of the big kids. How did you catch me? Wow, thank you. I guess I'll try harder not to get caught next time. Bye.
Please, let us through. Let my daughter go right now!
She's a thief, hellspawn. And you will wait for Korga's judgment. Now get back!
Oh, let me through, Mragrasham, or I'll rip your damn throat out!
Nice. Let's see what this is about.
We need to get Arabella out, now!
You heard the guards. They're waiting on Korga to give word.
I'd sooner trek through the 9 hells than trust that snake! Ugh!
Arabella tried to steal their idol. Druids lost their damn minds about it. They need it for their precious ritual.
Oh, it's all my fault. I told her I wished the wretched thing would just disappear, or better yet, explode.
Now Arabella's being judged by a bunch of druids who hate us. That's not right.
This grove is like a cauldron about to boil over. I say we check in on the child. Make sure she comes to no harm.
Thank you. They won't give us the time of day.
Hurry! I'm at the end of my tether as is. Can't take this waiting.
Calm, Magrin. Give her a chance. You, get back!
I like how she says give her a chance and then immediately yells at us to get back.
Keep back! Force my hand and I'll show you its claws.
A moment, Giona.
What? Oh, I understand. You. Apparently Korga wants to see you. Go ahead.
Okay. So, the ritual.
Mind if I do?
Let's take everything we can from here. and speak to Volo.
Confidence, if you insist. Ah, my good friend. You were at the gates just now, no? When the goblins came? You saw them up close? A few questions, if you please. There's no overstating my interest. Glory. Now then, how would you describe that particular batch of goblins? Size, nature, distinguishing qualities?
You search your mind, successfully recalling various details of goblin behavior.
Goblins were of a rare, jam-colored hue and wielded magic blowguns.
A mythweaver. This man has no respect for truth.
And the dragon they had marching in the rear, was it of the brass or silver variety? Witnesses failed to notice the obvious dragon. Last question, then you'll be quite free. Did the attackers rally to the absolute when they fell upon the gates? Really? Well, this does complicate things. But then again, well, never mind. I've interrogated one, a captive in this very camp. She reports they've abandoned their god Maglabiet in favor of someone called the Absolute. The scandal! Ah, but is superstition all? These goblins are informed by a kind of strategy anathema to their kind. I, for one, intend to get to the bottom of it. I'm just preparing to head to their camp as we speak, in fact. If you'll excuse me, I ought not to door roll.
Oh, never you mind. Who needs mercy when you've a quick tongue, hmm? And an invisibility potion stashed in your back pocket.
Until we meet again.
Oh, and we will meet him again when we go to the goblin camp. Let's see.
He didn't come back, did he? His smell is gone. He's gone. Master, he left with the weaponed two legs. He said he'd be back. But I can smell them, the weaponed ones, and I cannot smell him. He's not coming back.
Oh, this is so sad.
No, the woods have gone dark. There's too many predators lately, even for Master.
Poor bear. I shall steal the bear's fish because I am merciless.
I'm sleeping. Huh? What's that?
Get the fish, bear, and enjoy. This little bird is very funky.
Shh, I'm concentrating. Does this look good? Is the coin in the middle? Yes. Yes, you're right. That's it.
Happy little bird.
By Sylvanus, the Forest Father, we are granted balance.
Speak. Find Nettie in her room. Through the carved door, deeper in the grove. The bird knows. She needs to know. You do not.
Let's see if this will work. Oh, I'm glad it did, because she has some really interesting things to say.
Forgive me. It is not you I fear. It is my brethren. More follow Korga every day. They are afraid, and she offers a simple solution. Eject the refugees, and we will be safe. Perhaps not. But that does not make it right. Only Master Halsin can stop this. I pray my bird returns with news of him. If not, I fear for my people. The ritual is Korga's decision, but she is not our leader. Master Halsin welcomed the refugees in. I wait for him to resolve this.
Okay. Another Gothic time idea. Refugees, also veterans of wars. All of these were great concern of people
By Sylvanus, the old
living
oak,
in
all
times
death
of Gothic
begets
literature.
love.
1 second. There we go. Apologies, my mom was messaging me. But Tuffet is nice. She was just sleeping. Oh, I love these squirrels.
It hurts! It hurts! Please, make it stop!
Can't you hear it? Her singing. It's awful.
Terrible.
No!
The poor squirrels. I cannot
My head
skip
is
this.
melting. I'm leaving before the damage is permanent.
Okay, to be fair, outside of the cutscene, she actually does sing pretty horribly. There we go. And let's speak to Alfira.
Dance upon the stars tonight. Smile and pain will fade away. Words of mine will change. No. Become. Change? No. Damn it! No, I'm moments away from a grisly death. At the hands of this bloody song. I can't... Nothing fits, you know? It can't hurt. I have an extra lute, if you want. My teacher, Lihala. She loved dancing. Had 2 left feet, mind. I remember waking up one night on the road and seeing her, dancing beneath the stars, a huge smile on her face. Thinking of it now, my heart hurts. And my words just seem to crumble, like ash. Wait. Words of mine will turn to ash. That's perfect. Words of mine will turn to ash when you cool the last light down. Yes, yes!
Were still bards, mostly rather called entertainers, or just plain singers. In Gothic times, there were already also bands of, like, you know, actual bands of people who would like get together and perform all around Europe, and people knew them. And just as there were fans of authors or poets, there was already an emerging fandomness towards musicians and other kind of entertainers. Usually they would be invited to parties that lasted all night. There were also obviously still balls, and people would get together on these traditional balls. But there began to emerge the townhouse or the city folk parties that were more informal and way more lavish often.
She'd have said the same thing. That's the first time I've played since Lihala died. My teacher. She was playing her lute. We didn't hear the gnolls coming. There was so much blood. I can still smell it. It was awful. I couldn't look at a lute without hearing her screaming. I'd forgotten what it was like. That itch to perfect a song. The Weeping Dawn will be my gift to Lihala. I've a long way to go. But thank you. I needed this.
Okay. So now I will go and see about the child and Koga, and I think that is where I'm going to end it. Let's just go and see what they are up to and how we can save the little girl.
Cursed to put my hands on everything.
I'm sorry. Please. I'm sorry.
This is madness, Korga. She's just a...
A what, Wrath? A thief? A poison? A threat?
I will imprison the devil. And I will cast out every stranger. Girl, you mean parasite. She eats our food, drinks our water, then steals our most holy idol in thanks. Wrath, lock her up. She remains here until the rite is complete. And keep still, devil. Tila is restless.
Come, Koga. We took back the idol. Surely...
Do it.
Now I could try to detect her thoughts. I will do a save here. In case it doesn't turn out the way... I really want to save Arabella here. But maybe I also can find out something more.
Halsin is gone. I am first druid now. I will take control and prove my authority. Fair words. Child, take to the others word of my grace. Sif, Tila, to me!
It hurts.
Thank you, Koga. Master Halsin...
Halsin isn't here. Keep his name off your tongue, lest Tila pierce it.
Let's see. Something happened to Shadowheart there, so let's speak to her
I know
first.
that look. You're wondering why I was in pain before. Let's just clear the air about that now. It's just an old wound that hurts me from time to time. Nothing to be concerned about. It's nothing to do with the tadpoles, at least, in case your imagination is in danger of getting away from you. It's just something I have to live with. Quite a lot, if I'm being honest. But it always passes quickly, so I can manage.
Okay. I will leave her at that.
That woman has more venom in her heart than a snake in its fangs. But at least the child is safe. What is youth if not a time to be forgiven for one's transgressions? Come, let's cut the kid some slack, shall we? She didn't deserve this madcap spectacle as far as I'm concerned.
Okay. And I will go back to Arabella's parents, and that will be the last thing for today. And then next time I will continue to go deeper into the grove, meet Nettie, and we will speak more with Kaga as well.
You ever scare me like that again, and I'll feed you to a knoll.
Mom, I'm fine. Stop it.
Our little Hellion told us what happened. Thank you. Don't know what we'd do without her. Likewise. Arabella?
Thank you for helping me.
Okay. So, there we are. We saved the little girl. And I shall give this to Gail for later use. Oh yeah, I actually got the magic ring. I can equip it for now because I don't need that slot anyway. So yeah, I think I'm just going to go pop back to camp, get those things that I accidentally sent to camp. And also take everything that Will owns. Yes. There we go. So, that was very nice. Got to learn a bit more about our companions. We found out that Astarion is a vampire and Shadowheart seems to have some more secrets coming our way. I think maybe after the next long rest or somewhere around here, we will also get the first hunger from Gale. Or maybe that will be by the time we actually arrive near the goblin camp. I'm not sure about that, but that will be also very interesting. And here is the dude we saved, by the way. We can have a little chat with him. I think he's just gonna say thanks.
Oh, my savior. I wish you could have visited in better times.
There we go. Alright, so that's it for today. Shadowheart has something to say about the wolves, I think.
suppose you've noticed I'm not terribly fond of wolves. They're ravenous predators with fangs like daggers. It's hardly an irrational fear to harbor. You've been decent to me so far. Maybe if you can, don't make me face any more of them. At least, not alone. Thank you.
I've been nice to Shadowheart.
I had a feeling you'd be understanding.
Okay, so that was it for today. Thank you very much, and I shall see everyone again on Thursday at the same time from 3 p.m. European Central Time, I think it is called. So yeah, everyone have a nice evening and goodbye.